A lot of people feel like giving up on young British Jews. A lot of people say that don't want to be engaged, they'll never be engaged, they're not interested, they're apathetic. We believe that's almost heretical. We believe it's just untrue, and that Jews will be engaged and do want to engage if somebody will reach out in the right way. And that means being non-judgmental, it means being there on their turf, it means engaging intellectually, it means being able to reach the person who just wants to see what Judaism says to them in their own struggles in life. It means being able to engage intellectually with the person who says, I'm fascinated about big questions in life. It means being there in everybody's language where they want to engage.
My Jewish background is I grew up in a traditional home in Elstree. I went to Habs and then I went on to study medicine in Cambridge. So I think the first time that I approached Jewish learning seriously, when I was at university and learning with some of the Aish educators, I found it very satisfying. I felt that there was a very deep sense of intellectual satisfaction to having a question and having quite a sophisticated, multi-layered answer to it available. One of the big choices that I had to make as I got more interested is, what did I want my life to look like? What did I want my wife to be like? And sometimes I think, who were the great-great-grandparents or the great-grandparents who were there, who were sitting and studying, and I sort of wonder what their lives were like and where they came from and what they learned and what their sort of Jewish interests were. I sort of hope that this will be a strong link in the chain, and my children and my children's children will also be able to sort of continue it.
If there's 30 or 40,000 young Jews in this country, then there are 30 or 40,000 different Jewish pathways, different Jewish journeys. And there are also tens of thousands of Jewish families. Each one has its own unique journey, an own unique pathway. We want to be able to play a part in helping the families ensure their own continuity and helping each one of those 30 or 40,000 Jews find their pathway and their ability to shine and grow.
In my current job, I travel around the world and I'm engaged in lots of different organisations, and I have to say that Aish's passion, its professionalism, is amongst the top organisations I've seen around the world. The programmes that they put on, the reach, I'm not sure if people are aware how many different programmes have sprung from Aish.
And it's like a buffet. You offer the buffet and people come and people really take from it. And the heritage that we have has so much to offer. We're talking about, literally on a weekly basis, at least 2,000 people every week up and down the country. We're talking about school kids, we're talking about university students, we're talking about young professional programs.
Hi, my name's Glenn Keller. I went on Aish first 15 years ago when I was 25. Opportunity came up to go to New York and I signed up. It was the first New York trip Aish had done, and that really changed my life. To see New York, where Judaism is not hidden away like it tends to be in England, where people are proud to be Jewish, there's kosher restaurants in Times Square, it's very much out there, and people are proud of that, made it clear to me that you can be Jewish in the modern world in a way that wasn't at odds with the modern world. So before, I really wasn't at all affiliated to Judaism. I'd been brought up not in a Jewish community. We lived in the countryside, and me and my brother were the only Jewish children in our school. We didn't have any Jewish friends. We did have a bar mitzvah, but after age 13, pretty much didn't do anything Jewish at all. At university, I didn't even join the Jewish Society. It just wasn't a thing that even occurred to me, to be honest. I was, not dating Jewish girls, and so it really was, a 180 change. So I realised that somewhere inside me there was this Jewish spark that made sense, and there was a destiny, a path that I should be walking on that I wasn't, and at that point I decided to get on that path. Today I live in Boreham Wood. I married an Israeli wife who moved to England. I've got 3 children at a Jewish school. I go to synagogue. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's exactly what I know is right for me, but I was so close to not having that, and that's it's scary. It's one of the key parts that now defines me and how I live. And you know, I owe that all to Aish.
For us, partnerships are really crucial, and that's partnerships with parents, it's partnerships with communities, it's partnerships with the greater British Jewish infrastructure, and partnerships to ensure that we aren't duplicating and that we're harmonising and complementing the effort of all others as well.
One of the most important issues I think we face today is being able to do whatever we can to reduce the rate of intermarriage. And the more we can do together to make sure that we keep our children, our grandchildren Jewish is so important. The work that I see most closely of Aish is where you're working within our communities. And we have many of your Aish families, rabbis, rebbetzins, and workers generally working with us, working in our communities. And they do have a superb impact.
We have a reach and scope that is, thank God, enormous, and that's because there's Jews all over the country. And we'll work with the schools, the Jewish schools often servicing their informal departments. We'll work in non-Jewish schools running lunch and learn programs or working with the local Jewish societies. We're in about 21 schools on pretty much a weekly basis.
Our community is blessed with a wonderful cross-section of schools, all of whom are excellent. And one of the great skills that Aish has is his ability to engage with children in all of these schools and being able to enter and work in the schools together with the leadership of the school and following the ethos and direction set by the governors of those schools. When looking at the education of our children, and particularly Jewish education, I think that there are three critical areas. One of them is the academic development, the textual studies, then there is the general knowledge. But perhaps above all is the Jewish identity, the importance of understanding who we are. And in that regard, the work that Aish does to supplement the academic studies within the schools is crucial. And the outcomes that we see from children who are inspired by their studies and interested in perpetuating their Judaism is a testament to the work of Aish.
I would say that I come from a secular background. I knew what Shabbat was, but we didn't really do it. I knew that people did something on a Friday night, but we didn't really do much. I found this Aish trip to go to South Africa, and a lot of my friends were going to Magaluf and Zante and all these clubbing holidays, and I just saw an opportunity to go and see South Africa, and it was just the most amazing trip, and I was exposed to a lot of things I didn't know existed and things that I could see myself having in my life too.
They have welcomed us into the family like their own. It's been very difficult because I drive, I smoke, I turn up at their house, I do everything that I shouldn't be doing, and they don't look at me any differently from anybody else.
The relationship with my mother is a lot better than it was.
I've become extremely close to her, and I need to say it was all to do with Aish that brought us together again, because they were supportive, they cared about us, they got me involved. When I do go to Aish, it's like one big huge family, and they make every single child feel so special. And I love them to bits, to be honest. I don't know what would have happened if Daniela didn't go to Aish, where she would have gone, which way she would have gone, because a lot of her friends went a completely different way.
It's the follow-up that's there, and the care, and
it's the love they give as well. I mean, even at Rabbi Merfield's on Saturday,
we went for second night Seder.
We went for second night Seder, and honestly, normally I'm asleep at a Seder. He made it so special to every single person in that room. I just want to say to Aish, all the Aish rabbis and all the wives of the rabbis, I want to thank you so much for looking after my beautiful daughter and making her feel so welcome into your very big family.
I would like to just thank you, Aish, for the endless opportunities that I've had growing up, and I wouldn't be living the dream of New York City in a job that is based all around giving back to the Jewish communities. So thank you very much for the opportunities, thank you for the hospitality, endless hospitality, Thank you very much. I'm forever indebted.
Statistics and numbers are great, but what statistics and numbers just mean is the reach is huge. But what is actually happening with that reach is that story after story, individual after individual, young person after young person is standing up and saying, I'm going to play my role in a 3,300-year journey. I'm going to be a part of it, and my children are going to be a part of it, and their children are going to be a part of it. It's grandparents looking with pride at their weddings and great-grandchildren and future generations that are standing forward. It's spanning the breadth of the whole of Jewish history, from the moment of its inception all the way through decades and centuries of challenges, and saying we're going to be a part of that incredible future.
It's a particular pleasure to be working with Rabbi Rowe, who's now leading Aish. And he works very closely with the United Synagogue, and I'm so grateful for everything he's doing for the community, and I think there is so much more we can do together.
The success that Aish achieves is very much built on the individuals within the organisation, and you have managed to collect a group of superstars, and the opportunities that schools have to be able to bring those educators into the schools and watch how children can engage with them is a real credit to your organisation.
Aish is inspiring the next generation of givers, and without Aish and this next generation, I don't know where our community will be.
I feel so deeply that we really together we can build a brighter Jewish future.